fastball going against this Dodgers team who had trouble getting any hits last night, but we know at any time their offense could get hot, guys.
Yeah, they do have some excellent hitters. That's why Mike Fiers can be very proud of the game he had. In 23 starts, Kazmier's 6-8. Ash with an excellent 2.43 ERA. That's fourth in the American League.
All of that with being touched up last time out. 6 earnings over 5 1/3 innings out against Tampa Bay, a team that came in and played well against the Astros. I felt like, and I understand the comments about the fastball, I felt like Scott didn't have his changeup either. And I felt the more he didn't have it, the more he tried to find it. And that might have accounted for some of the extra off-speed pitches.
For the Los Angeles Dodgers, with a record of 67-54, they have a game-and-a-half lead on the Giants. Here's the lineup with shortstop Jimmy Rollins leading it off. Yasiel Puig is the right fielder. Puig is followed by third baseman Justin Turner, with Adrian Gonzalez at first base cleaning it up. Then it's Scott Van Slyke in left field, Chase Utley at second base, Kike Hernandez in center field, Yasmani Grandal the catcher, Alex Guerrero the DH, and the pitcher will be 13-game winner Zach Greinke. The smoke is still clearing from the pyro show on the field during the Biggio celebration as Jimmy Rollins settles into the box. Rollins takes the first one, and it's ball one. Bill Welke is the home plate umpire. Rollins with a .223 average has a dozen homers. He's driven in 39. He was 0 for 4 last night. That's in the air, and the left fielder moves for it. Colby Rasmus coming in. 1 out.
So you get a little peek at that defense. It is Colby Rasmus in left field, Carlos Gomez in center, and Jake Marisnick, who had the big 2-run home run last night. He's in right. Left side of the infield, Jed Lowry and Carlos Correa. On the right, Jose Altuve and Luis Valbuena. Jason Castro back behind the plate.
Yasiel Puig is the batter. He's had some hamstring issues. Did not play in last night's game. Puig is on a 5-game hitting streak, currently 6 for 17 during those 5 games. And the Cuban-born outfielder takes ball 1. With a .250 batting average, he's gone deep 10 times with 35 runs batted in for Puig. He's had 256 at bats. He fouls it back, and it's 1-1. It's been something of an outfield rotation for Don Mattingly, including Puig part of the time, but others have played. Andre Ether's played a lot. Carl Crawford lately has played. A year ago today, Puig much better at .309 with 13 homers, 59 runs batted in.
Came up as a sensation with the Dodgers.
Looping liner caught. Altuve gets over. Yeah, he really was. Hit .319 in his rookie season in 2013. 19 homers and 382 at bats. And now it's Justin Turner. Turner, the 30-year-old third baseman, checks in with good numbers for the season. He's hitting .308, and he has a .538 slugging percentage with 14 homers, 47 runs batted in for Turner. That's ball 1. Julia said Kazmier was joking around after the game last night about how he's going to follow that act of Mike Fiers. It's 1-1.
I thought that Turner presented a formidable final out for Fiers to get last night.
He sure did. And Fiers went with all fastballs to get him for strikeout number 10. He retired the last 21.
I thought that fastball got better and better as the night wore on.
Off the plate, and it's 2-1 for Scott Kazmier, native of Houston and Cy Falls High School. Turner's hit 3 homers and driven in 8 runs since July 18th. And one of those pretty reliable hitters in the Dodger lineup. A lineup which is 6th in runs scored in the National League, but 1st in on-base average. That was what was so impressive about Fiers' game last night.
Saw a little chatter between the home plate umpire Bill Welke and Justin Turner. I wish that chatter consisted of get in the box.
3 balls and a strike to Turner.
I think Scott Kazmir felt the same way. He finally just backed off the mound.
Kazmir has a 1.82 home ERA. Had 10 of those starts at O.Co Coliseum. Out of play. And in his Astros Minute Maid Park debut, he worked 7 2/3 shutout innings against the Angels, leading the Astros to a 3-0 win. That was July 30th. And that last start Ash talked about was also a home start against Tampa Bay a few days ago, giving up 6 earned runs in 5 1/3. He's 2-1 lifetime at Minute Maid Park. In the air, and here goes Gomez to his right for a 1-2-3 first for Scott Kazmir, continuing the no-hit. They play him at second base. Carlos Gomez is the center fielder batting second. Then it's Carlos Correa at shortstop. Jen Lowry at third base. Colby Rasmussen left field. Evan Gattis the DH. Luis Valbuena first base. Jake Marisnick right field. Jason Castro catcher.
On the mound for the Dodgers, National League leader, Major League leader in ERAs. That's Zach Greinke. Spectacular numbers. 13-2, 158 the ERA. That opponent's batting average against 193 tells you a lot. And then the whip says not many guys on base at all against this guy. He's allowed 1 run or less in 17 of 24 starts this year. That is how tough it is this evening.
High to Jose Altuve. There's ball 1. Altuve with a 304 average is tied for 8th in the American League. He has 9 homers, 50 runs batted in, and 6 for 12 against Greinke in his career. That one goes out to left center field. There's an opening there. That'll shoot by. Kike Hernandez roll all the way to the wall. Altuve stretching it out. He's going for third. Here's the throw, and it doesn't get caught. It's a triple for Altuve, his first of the year.
That ball almost in that same spot as the game-winning base hit that Altuve had against the Tigers. Now look at our strike zone presented by M.D. Anderson. Tough pitch too, down and away, and drive it like that out to pretty much center field, a little bit toward left center. Now you figured he owed himself a triple somewhere along the line.
Altuve was 1 for 4 last night. He opens this one with a 3-base hit, and the infield stays back up the middle for Gomez. Strike 1 for Carlos Gomez, a 192 hitter with the Astros. With a homer and 4 runs batted in, and an early opportunity for him to give his club the lead. 47 runs batted in for the year for Gomez. It's 0-2. Greinke has electric stuff. He's walked only 29 in 165 1/3 innings while striking out 150. Best ERA in the majors, 1.58. Foul away, and it's 0-2 still.
Let's take a look now at our Super Mo presented by Mattress Firm. There's that 4-seam fastball. Just trying to spot it down and away, and he did. But Altuve with that great coverage and puts the barrel on it, something he has been doing with regularity here recently.
In the dirt, and there's the block by Grandal. 1-2. In Greinke's career, he is 4-1 against Houston with a 3.00 ERA for 6 career starts. Well, that goes against the trend. That leadoff triple. Greinke retiring 79% of the first batters he's faced. Ground ball third. Altuve back to the bag. Turner with the low throw to first in time. 1 out.
Take a look at that defense for the Dodgers here this evening. In the outfield left to right, Scott Van Slyke, Kike Hernandez, the former Astro, and Yasiel Puig in right. Left side of the infield, Justin Turner and Jimmy Rollins, the former Phil. On the right side, another former Phil, Chase Utley at second, Adrian Gonzalez at first, Yasmani Grandal behind the plate.
Carlos Correa was 0 for 4 last night. Jed Lowry's on deck. He lets that one go low and outside, ball one. 278 for Correa, 15 homers, 41 runs batted in. And that is all since June 8th when he came up from the minor leagues. He leads the club in runs batted in since he arrived on the scene. It's 1-1 as Greinke gets it by him.
In particular, when there's an opportunity to drive in runs for Carlos Correa, I'm glad to see that early swing when he gets a pitch to handle.
Correa's 7 for 28 on this homestand. That goes out of play. 1-2. Greinke was a first-round choice in the 0-2 draft by Kansas City, the 8th player drafted. Dodgers got him in a trade in July of 2012. 31 years old. Last year he was 17-8 with the Dodgers with a 2.71 ERA. He was a Cy Young Award winner in Kansas City in 2009. It's 2-2.
It's a critical at bat here in the first inning. 1 out after Gomez grounds out and does not get the run home.
Greinke has not been beaten in his last 11 starts with a 1.16 ERA. Infield in now. Now it's 3-2. Greinke has 136 career wins, 92 losses, and a 3.39 ERA. In 17 of his 24 starts, he's allowed 1 run or no runs. Tap to third, runner coming home. It's bobbled, and Altuve scores. Turner unable to make the pickup, and it's 1-0 Houston.
Well, any way you can get the runs. And that first run on a night like this when you've got Greinke against Scott Kazmir can be critical. Just making contact sometimes is all you need. Look at that extended lead there at third by Altuve. That might have factored in.
It is an error on Turner, his 10th. Should also be an RBI with Altuve's break, as you saw in that replay. He's going to get Correa an RBI, I believe, on that one.
Yeah, I don't think you can anticipate a throw out at the plate in a non-force situation, can you?
Nope. 54th error for the Dodgers. They've been leading the National League in fielding percentage. Jed Lowry takes the ball. Jed with a 258 average has 5 homers, 17 runs batted in, and a 366 on base average. As a left-handed hitter, he's hitting .231. Greinke really seemed to want that call, the way he flexed at the knees when it was ball 2.
We get the reason why. Pretty good looking pitch. Any part of the ball, any part of the strike zone, that's all you need for a strike.
Greinke really does study the art of pitching and opposing hitters. 3-0, very intense competitor. He had a shutout inning streak earlier this year of 45 2/3. Longest since Orel Hershiser in 1988 had a 59 inning scoreless streak. High ball, Lowry to right center field, coming over Kike Hernandez, and Puig is there, and it's almost dropped. The Dodgers have had some problems with Puig overextending his range, so to speak. Lowry without number 2 on the 3-0 pitch.
Now, Kike Hernandez is not by any means the everyday center fielder, but when you're playing center field, you're supposed to get some respect on those calls, and I'm not so sure that Yasiel Puig was ready to concede that one.
Well, he almost caused a major problem for them by being too close to Hernandez. Colby Rasmus, 231, 17 homers, 44 runs batted in for Colby. He takes ball 1. Colby in August has 4 homers, 8 runs batted in, and an OPS of 807. Had a big 2-home run game against Matt Boyd of Detroit last weekend. Runner going. Grandal with a throw. It's right on the money. And that is out number 3. Rollins with the tag on a 2-6 caught stealing on Correa. 1 run. Scott Kazmir has a 1-0 lead facing Adrian Gonzalez leading off the 2nd inning. Gonzalez was 0 for 3 last night. Shall we just drop saying the offers for the Dodgers last night?
Yeah.
They were all over.
Steady slew of offers, huh?
All right. Strike to Gonzalez with 24 homers. He's driven in 73.
Yeah, the only question mark was the 3 early walks. Would that enable Fiers to come up with his first complete game?
Well, once he settled in, he really attacked. Strikeout. 1 out and strikeout number 1 for Kazmir.
Scott is mostly a fastball changeup guy, but on left-hand hitters, especially and specifically Gonzalez right here, starts throwing that slider and sweeping it big time.
Scott Van Slyke, who's 29 years old, the son of Andy Van Slyke. Hits one to center field, and here's the run for Gomez, still going back to the base of Taos Hill. A long second out.
Finding myself looking toward next year and wondering how that ball plays with the new wall.
Exactly.
Van Slyke hit it well.
Gomez tracked it down. 5 straight retired by Kazmir out of the gate. Chase Utley in his 2nd game as a Dodger. It's a nice look out there with that number 7 on the hill. Utley DH last night in his first game as a Dodger. And the UCLA product looks at strike 1. Obtained in a trade from the Philadelphia Phillies to try to plug that gap at second base due to the hamstring injury of Howie Kendrick, who is expected back in perhaps a couple of weeks. Utley may play other positions as well as second. 0-2. He can play third base. He's been taking some ground balls there, and if needed, could move to first base a little.
Those 2 positions happen to be handled by guys swinging the bat well, though.
Good point. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, given Utley's background, the Dodgers are hoping that he can pick up this Dodger offense with help from those others you talked about. He's a career .285 hitter, more than 200 homers, and checks in with about 900 runs batted in for his career. Takes a close one. It's 2-2 for Kazmir.
Kazmir not wanting to show emotion, but obviously he wanted that pitch and spotted beautifully.
That's strike 3. 6 up, 6 down for Scott Kazmir. 1-0 Houston. Colby Rasmus gets a fresh count. Bottom of the 2nd begins with Zach Greinke throwing, and it's strike 1. Rasmus was at the plate when Carlos Correa was thrown out trying to steal second. Correa, by the way, is credited with an RBI. He reached on an error, but the run scored when Altuve crossed the plate. And that's the way you described it, Ash. The official scorer has to rule. Even if Correa had been thrown out at first, would the runner have scored from third? If Turner had tried to come home with the break that Altuve had, he would have scored.
Now, that said, I think there was an out presented there at home plate, and maybe that extended lead Altuve had and his speed factored in enabling that run.
He certainly played it aggressively, and it helped the Astros get a run. That third baseman has to catch the runner out of the corner of his eye, and sometimes it causes a misplay. Asmus is down on strikes.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score as we look at Zach Greinke and what makes him tick. 51% fastball, as you can see, the batting average against. Not a good one, but over 200. Everything else, other than the curveball, which has been hit well for some reason this year, at a 313 clip. The slider and changeup barely handled at all. Especially that changeup. He has a dominant change.
Evan Gattis takes that pitch. It's ball 1 to Gattis. Gattis belted a homer last night, his 19th of the year. He's driven in 63. And he leads the team in runs batted in. And for a strike to Gattis. 1-1. Evan 1 for 3 in the game last night. And the Astros won that game 3-0. They hit 2 homers. They continue to lead the majors. They have 166 long balls. Bounce foul past Gary Pettis. 1-2. Well, the Hall of Famer is going to join us in the next inning.
When do you grow accustomed to hearing yourself referred to as a Hall of Famer?
Probably doesn't sound all that bad to him right now. And it may never sound that bad to him. A special moniker. Rollins picks it up after dropping it, then throws to first and still gets Gattis. 2 outs. J. Roll has helped this club at shortstop. Hanley Ramirez was fairly disastrous last year, and Rollins has helped to plug that gap defensively at short. Luis Valbuena at first base tonight has a .208 batting average, 21 homers to lead the club, 43 runs batted in. Infield, as always, shifts around. He has dropped a few bunts third base side. That's why Turner isn't all that deep. But Valbuena still could bunt his way on, and there's ball 1 to him. Jake Marisnick's on deck. Generally speaking, as you see a strike rung up, 1 ball 1 strike. 2 out bunts are not commonly practiced by a lot of hitters. Nobody on. They can be rally starters. You never know. 2 balls and a strike, and a guy with Greinke's stuff. 193 batting average against him. The best whip in Major League Baseball, 0.86, will lead hitters to think a little bit out of the box sometimes. He blew it by him, and it's 2-2.
Generally speaking, surgeons are pretty highly thought of, and that's the word that comes from so many people's mouths when they talk about the way Greinke goes about his pitching.
In the dirt, it's 3-2.
That's that changeup. Just takes enough off that hitters can't adjust. Another peek of the change. You can see the 3 fingers on the baseball, and just dives toward the plate, and yet 89 miles an hour.
That's high out to right center field. A long drive by Valbuena, and this one is going to reach home run land. Number 22, Luis Valbuena, 2-0 Astros. He ripped the 3-2 pitch and sent it out to the Astros bullpen.
Well, a couple of early runs against Zach Greinke don't hurt a bit. And that is really nice when you can come up with a tally when you've got a 2 outs and nobody on base scenario. Spat has had its struggles with the batting average this year, just trying to get on base. But boy, when he finds it, he's got some genuine pop.
Jake Marisnick follows after that blast and tries to bunt. There's strike 1. This is the most homers the Astros have hit in a season since 2008. 411 feet of that beautiful blast for Luis Valbuena for number 22. Off the end of the bat, it goes out to center field. Kike Hernandez puts it away. Valbuena with number 22 makes it 2-0 Houston after a couple. Jerry Hunsaker was very eloquent. And now, what are you doing? Are you going to run for mayor of Houston? Or is that just a rumor? What's next?
What's next is the boys are heading out of town. And my truck is packed, and I have not been to my ranch in 3 months, and I've got so much work to do. So I'm heading out of town tomorrow and looking forward to it.
Kike Hernandez puts one in the air, right field side. Marisnik over for a look, and it's fouled out of play. Well, what a great outpouring of support from these fans again tonight. Yeah,
hey, they're on board. You know, it's our boys are in it. We got a shot at it, and let's give them the same support and love that you've given us over the years. And these guys have earned it, and it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out.
Fouled away. What did you think of Mike Fiers' game last night?
It was incredible. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I had a dinner plan, so I mean, it was kind of like Barry and I got out and left the box with Jeff. And he goes, you know, there's a no-hitter going. I know, but it's like the third inning, Barry, fourth inning. I'm hungry. Let's go get a nice glass of wine. And we were following it on our phone, and he goes, we left that game. We left that game. I'm like, I know, bro. I'm sorry.
So
man.
Barry said the words no-hitter, huh?
He did. He goes, there's a no-hitter going. I'm like, it's the fourth inning, man. I mean, all right, we've seen this before. I mean, come on. And then, hey, great for him, man. The kid is a great story. Yep. His first complete game's a no-hitter. I mean, where do you go from there? But again, I mean, just think about the magical year we're having. Yeah. January, first week in January, one of your ex-players gets a phone call to get inducted to the Hall of Fame. The team is playing great. Kid throws a no-hitter. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, man. It's that's why you play the year out.
When you look back on your career, is there one moment that stands out as that moment when you think that was a really cool time? That was something that might have even surprised you.
I just take the whole thing in a time capsule and think about it. My early years, we've talked about this before, Ash, and being around all the veteran guys like yourself and being a young kid, and then having a bunch of young guys to play alongside with Baggy and Billy Spires and Cammy and everybody. And, we had so much fun back in the day. And, in 97 being the first time to win and go to the playoffs, we weren't ready for that. But just to be part of that and see it, I don't really have one thing, and then you think about all the other success that we had, of course, the time.
If this team makes it to the playoffs, will this team be ready for that?
I think so. I think it's a little bit different now. I mean, I think that we were so young. We were just so young and playing the Braves, and that doesn't, look, they had 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. They had a Hall of Fame manager, a potential maybe borderline center fielder, and a Hall of Fame third baseman. Yeah. So, I mean, we were way out over our skis on that one. And then the team that we had in '98 was a team that was built to beat the Yankees. But we just never got past Kevin Brown in the 2 games that we had to face him.
So you started 1988. You played 50 games that year. How long after that came that first thought of, you know what? If I could do X, I might be able to get myself in the Hall of Fame. Come on now.
Well, it's probably opening day that game. I probably took an 0 for 4, 0 for 5. I'm definitely going to the Hall, I told somebody the other day I was 0 for 15 until I finally got a hit off of Hershiser. I mean, that's 3 games, 4 games.
Did you thank Oral for your on the induction day?
No, I forgot. I should have. I mean, I don't know how I hit him, but I did. It was just one of those things. And you know that, how filthy he was during that 59-inning scoreless streak. But somehow, some way, I kept hitting him. And Fernando was the other guy I hit.
I couldn't hit Fernando to save my life. But I had a home run against Oral shortly before he started that streak. I don't know if it was the last run. I have no idea. But, there are those guys that you just see well for some reason.
You don't know how. You're standing on second. You go, I don't know what I just hit, but I'm standing on second.
Okay, anybody who played the game has those dreams. I don't know, you're sleeping at night or whenever it comes, and there's a moment, a ball's coming at you, whatever, or you see a play. You have one that kind of stands out that happens to you?
a lot of stuff that happened. A lot of balls that came at me that were going to hit me. Wow.
Lowry with a good play. Can you hang with us?
I'm with you. I'm good. Another 0 on the board.
You can't leave now.
No.
What's going
I'm not leaving
here?
tonight.
Lowry with a good play. 2-0 Astros.
I think it hit the glove, and then I swung. I said, you better get it going. And the next pitch had a line drive in the seats, and then they threw it back. I was like, this is great.
Love this game, huh?
I love this game. It's great. Awesome.
Strike one to Castro. Well, you know, talking about luminaries here, Hershiser, Gossage, and think about all these guys you faced over your whole career. You talked about the Braves guys. You saw them so many times. Anybody stand out as somebody you just really, really would put at the top of your list and not want to face at that point?
There was never anybody that I ducked. I mean, and Ash had the staffs back in the day. There was a lot of teams that came in that didn't really want to face some of the guys that you had on your staff, and they would come up with a little hamstring, this and that. I mean, Kevin Gross is my nemesis. 2 for 42, whatever I was off him, and but I never ducked him. I'm like, maybe today's going to be the day. Maybe I can do something productive with with a bat in your hand to help the team win. And in most cases, it wasn't. But I mean, you can help the team win defensively, and so yeah, there wasn't really anybody that I feared. Just some guys had more success off of you than others.
Yeah, I might have guessed Kevin Brown more than Kevin Gross, but that's the thing about this game. You never know who it is that's going to have your number.
Ask pitchers. So they'll tell you some dude from you never even heard of before.
Yep.
Wears them out. What Tony Gwynn? Tony Gwynn hit like 360 off of Maddox or something like that.
360 for his career. What's the difference?
That's good.
Ground ball and diving stop, and Utley with a throw. The Dodgers are going to love that if you can do more of that for them, bitch.
Yeah, he's a nice player. You know what? I mean, it's maybe gets revitalized here playing on a team that's in contention. And listen, Chase has had an unbelievable career, and he did a lot of. He was a good ambassador for the game by the way that he plays the game. It's a tough city to play in, and you never really heard anything about him, and he's a good dude.
Who was that player that you admired as a kid that you wanted to maybe emulate?
Thurman Munson was my hero growing up. I love that guy. I mean, Ash was a catcher, played dirty, got dirty, played the game the right way, and Manny Galante coached him somewhere, and he said everything that you think about him is all true.
Altuve smacks one. Kike Hernandez over for it. And with good range, he takes care of out number 2.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was Jose's first triple.
Exactly.
How about that?
You had a few during your All-Star run.
Couple.
Mostly doubles. And 668 top right-handed hitter of all time in doubles. 5th on the all-time list, period. Now that you look back on it, does it seem like a distant thing playing your last game, or does it seem like yesterday?
Oh, it's definitely a distant thing. I mean, it's I love what I do. I love my role here at the club, and I just enjoy these guys. But I trust me, I remember how hard the game is, and I never bring up when I played or did this or that when I talk to these kids, because the game is hard, and you got to make adjustments like everybody does. But I'm good. Got enough hits and got enough outs. It's all good.
You need to sit here for a while because it really looks easy on TV.
It doesn't. I know. That's what I mean. Trust me. It's how do you swing at that pitch?
Yeah. And the left fielder moves over. Van Slyke. Pitch. Congratulations again. Thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate you having me on. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Way to go, Pitch. Way to go.
Thank you.
2-0 Astros. Kazmir, through the first 3 innings, has not had a base runner. It's Jimmy Rollins leading it off. Rollins hit a fly ball to left. Kazmir deals, and it's ball 1. In for a strike. It's even at a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Texas 4, Detroit nothing. Top of the 3rd. Soft line drive over shortstop, and that's the first base runner. Not only that, but Rollins is headed for second base. Here's Rasmus with a throw. Altuve the tag. He's out. Rollins wants a review on the out call by John Hirschbeck.
One of those plays where you're looking for Altuve to simply get that glove quickly down in front of the bag. And it looked like he tried to do that. Nice play by Colby to get that ball back in. Now let's see if the Dodgers do take a peek at this one. Because to the naked eye, I thought that Altuve got the job done. Stay back at that bag as much as possible and then put the glove down. Yeah, you see, because the glove didn't go down, it looks like Rollins might get by the tag.
I thought that his right foot was above the base and the left foot hadn't arrived yet when he was tagged. Maybe not. The left foot was arriving.
And that gets tough to overturn.
Yeah.
And again, if that glove goes right down to ground level in front of the bag, you're going to get that call every time.
So Rollins, while they await for the ruling from New York, is standing on second base. Could be a double for him. And this could be a significant call if it's an out. Kazmir can continue from the windup, facing Puig. If not, a potential tying run comes up.
Looking on the big board here at the stadium, and of course you could see Don Mattingly, and he was looking up there evaluating. But I don't know, Brownie, I'm not sure that there's evidence that you can overturn this.
It looks different from two different angles. Now that looks as if his foot has reached the base when he's tagged. The other angle doesn't. But of course all those angles and more will be reviewed in New York by the replay crew.
That turns into one of those reach tags, and when you reach, that runner will slide on by the glove.
Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, is hearing from the officials in New York, as well as the crew chief and the umpire who made the call at second, John Hirschbeck. Don Mattingly did wait for word from his video room before deciding to initiate the manager challenge here. A.J. Hinch had 3 successful manager challenges in one game a few nights ago here. The ball is out.
Ooh, boy, they might have seen something in New York that maybe we didn't see. Now that's a big break for the Astros early on. That reach, and I don't know, is the right foot not on the bag, and therefore, and that could be the key.
Well, the right foot wasn't. Didn't look like anyway. Yasiel Puig is the batter. He popped a second earlier. Could be a very, very important call in this game. That was upheld. Puig puts it in the air, foul. Colby Rasmus gets the outfield assist, and Altuve really with the important tag, coming off the base to take the throw and then spinning around.
I love the earnest effort being made in the evaluation of those replays.
Fouled away, and it's no balls, 2 strikes for Scott Kazmir. The Dodgers, instead of getting leadoff double, have 1 out, nobody on, and an 0-2 count on Puig. It's 1-2. You heard from Julia that Scott Kazmir had planned to use the fastball more. Batting average against his fastball this season is just .214. Two and 2. Dodgers are 0-3 on this road trip. They lost both games in Oakland. The Astros 5-3 on this 10-game homestand, their longest homestand of the year. Softly hit. Correa comes back, gets his glove on it, can't play it. That looked really weird in the air. A soft liner with some spin on it, and Puig is on first base.
Yeah, I'm wondering, and I'm watching Correa right now. He looked toward Altuve and started swinging his hand from one side to the other, and that's the only thing you can anticipate, and it does happen on the field, where the ball, softly hit ball in particular, starts to sail from one direction to another. And I think clearly with the body doing the things awkwardly it was doing there for Correa, something odd went on.
It's ruled an error on Correa, his 8th. Justin Turner bats with Puig on first. Strike to Turner. Turner last year had a .493 slugging percentage. This year he's at .538. One ball, one strike. The Astros have the best record in interleague play. They are 12-3 against the National League clubs. 6-2 here at home. Finale of the homestand is tomorrow with a 1:10 start. In for strike two. Angels play later tonight at home against Toronto. The Astros lead the Angels by 3.5 and the Rangers by 4. Giovanni Gallardo's on the mound for Texas at Detroit with a 4-0 third inning lead. It's 2-2. Randy Wolf, the former Astro, is starting for Detroit.
Spotting that fastball. And that's what you're trying to do, quite frankly, as a major league pitcher. You get ahead and you want it off the edge.
Got him on strikes. That's punch out number 5.
Much like Mike Fiers last night for the final out of the game, just rode that good heater up and gets Turner.
Adrian Gonzalez struck out in the second inning. Ball 1 to Gonzalez. These two teams have played each other more than 700 times down through the years. The Astros have won 321, the Dodgers 388. And for a strike, it's 1-1. Adam Hinsdale, our director, Carl Patterson, our producer, did a magnificent job last night of capturing those pictures. And great audio and camera work from our crew, as always, here at home. Fouled away, 1-2. Dodgers are 16-15 since the All-Star break. The Astros 18-14. Difficult stretch here for Houston with the first place teams in 2 different divisions, 2 different leagues back to back. They'll go to Yankee Stadium Monday through Wednesday. Foul back. But the Yankees are barely a first place team right now in the AL East. Their lead over Toronto is down to a half game. A.J. Hinch said he will move last night's no-hit author, Mike Fiers, back and give him a little extra rest before his next start. In the dirt, ball 2, 2-2 to Gonzalez. Lance McCullers returns to the Astros tomorrow. His mound opponent will be Clayton Kershaw, the MVP Cy Young Award winner of the Dodgers, at 1:10 tomorrow. And the Astros take off for Yankee Stadium, where Monday night Scott Feldman opposes Alvin native Nathan Eovaldi. Tuesday night it's Dallas Keuchel and Ivan Nova. Wednesday a day game, Colin McHugh, and the Yankees have not yet named their starter. In the dirt, ball 3. Looks as if Scott Kazmir is penciled in to pitch Friday. at Target Field against the Minnesota Twins. AJ is plotting out the rest of the season as far as his starting rotation. He said it's not easy. 3-2, 2 outs. Puig will take off. Valbuena backs up behind him. And it's grounded to third. Backhanded Lowry. Across to Valbuena. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. 2-0 Houston.
Maybe things aren't feeling right with his swing, and they'll get right after it and fix them. Also, guys, on pitches at the big league level, Hutch said one of the big adjustments for rookies is maybe you're seeing pitches that you've never seen before at the minor league level. So I asked Correa, any pitches that you've had to get used to, maybe things that you weren't comfortable with? He said, yeah, the cutter. The cutter should be banned. Johnny.
Well, there is a movement to take care of that, but it might take a few decades. Strike 1 to Carlos. He hits that ball foul. No balls, 2 strikes. That's a wicked pitch, said Cutter.
I think Ted Williams made comments toward the slider that was really kind of coming into prominence toward the end of his career.
Well, it moves so late, tough for the hitter to pick up. The cutter moves even later than the slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the dirt, and it's 2-2 to Carlos Correa.
It's a changeup that has been hit at a pretty puny rate this year against Greinke.
Lowry and Rasmus to follow in the Astros 4th. Correa fouls it. You know what's been so uncommon though about Correa, and we've talked about this several times, is here he is a rookie. He came to the big leagues June 8th. He's batting third and has typically a lot of the best at bats of anybody on the team.
He's shown that he hits his funks too. They just don't last very long.
Ground ball, and Turner flags it down, turns, throws him out. 1 out. Jed Lowry to follow. Lowry hit a fly ball to center in the first inning. Correa's ground ball to third, scoring Jose Altuve, accounted for the first Houston run. Altuve had tripled, his first triple of the year. It was really an oddity before today that Altuve was leading the league in steals, but he had no triples. Strike to Lowry. Colby Rasmus on deck. Greinke leads the majors in quality starts with 22 of his 24. In for a strike. 0-2. He beat the Reds last Sunday at Cincinnati 2-1, giving up 1 run on 6 hits in 7 innings. And he hit a homer.
For good measure.
Yeah. 1-2. So it's an 8-game winning streak for Greinke, but over the last 11 starts, he is 8-0 with a 1.16 ERA. It's been a nice long stretch of quality work. Tap foul by Lowry. Last night, Brett Anderson went 6 for the Dodgers. He gave up 3 earned runs. The Astros won it 3-0 on the Fire's no-hitter. The Astros knew that they would be up against it as far as facing some of the top pitching in baseball, with Greinke tonight and Clayton Kershaw tomorrow. Ground ball. Gonzalez to Greinke. 2 outs. But one way to deal with facing those top pitchers is to get a very well pitched game. And how much better could it have been than last night from Mike Fiers?
how much better for the fans. And that could be that evening that kind of sparks the fans once again for this club.
Fans were tremendous last night. And Mike talked about that after the game. Rasmus struck out in the second inning. Mike got quite a lift from the fan support. Strike to Rasmus. That's what can happen in a pennant race. Big crowds making a lot of noise. Morgan Ensberg talked about that when he was on with us last Saturday, Ash.
Very passionate guy. And I think you can sense when you're talking to a Morgan Ensberg how much the crowd can mean to the players.
0-2 to Rasmus.
And yes, Mo, we want you back during the playoffs.
He's offered to come to the booth.
There you go. That's that nearly about as close as you'll find 12-6 curveball.
And it's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Don't know if you saw that tweet from Morgan, but he's hoping to get back in the booth and be a part of the postseason.
Yes. That would be fantastic. In the dirt, and Rasmus works the count to 2-2. And part of it is if the Astros can work the count on Greinke, that's typically not something that happens very often. He's at 59 pitches right now. Rasmus is down on strikes. That's number 2 for Greinke. And after 4, the Astros lead the Dodgers 2-0.
It does. The fastball is just by its nature better as well.
That's strike 1 to Scott Van Slyke, leading off the Dodger 5th. He hit the first pitch in the air to center field in the second inning. In for a strike. And it's 0-2. Van Slyke was drafted in 2005 in the 14th round by the Dodgers. He's from Chesterfield, Missouri. He fouls it back and stays alive with Utley and Hernandez to follow in the Dodger 5th inning. Very good crowd tonight.
What are we doing here?
Wow. It's a long way up there. Struck him out. That's number 6.
Now, without seeing the grip, I couldn't tell you for certain that changeup sometimes looks like a big slow curveball when Kazmir throws it. But let's see. I believe that's coming out of the N3 fingers.
Looked like a change.
Yeah, I think that is the changeup.
Did have some side-to-side action on it, though, didn't it? Chase Utley struck out looking in the second.
Jeff Blum and I have looked at that pitch numerous times, and it can look so much like a slow curveball, but it comes out of that hand as the changeup.
In for strike 1.
Get another peek at it, but there you can see the grip as he's got it tucked back into the fingers. Nice work from the guys.
Oh, their cameras are everywhere. 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros had the best ERA in the American League, 3.38. There's a strike 1 and 2, and the back part of the rotation, as it's termed, has really picked up the pace very nicely. And certainly the acquisitions through trades of Kazmir and Fiers have helped this pitching staff. Now Lance McCullers returns tomorrow. Two and 2. Lance has been working at Corpus Christi. He pitched 1 game, about 3 innings Tuesday night to get ready for this start. But most of his work has come just throwing bullpens and resting his arm some. Foul ball. And now the Astros hope to have him solidly in line for this final 5 weeks of the season. So it's almost as if they've made another acquisition here this weekend. And the nice thing was they got Kazmir in that deal with Oakland the 3rd week in July, so they Actually had him for a couple of starts before the trade deadline came around. In a race like this one, that could impact who wins. Lowry gives chase, so does Rasmus. Jed coming over toward the stands, but it's out of play. Still 3-2 on Utley.
Well, you mentioned Lance McCullers. I think we've all loved watching his arm and what he can bring to this team. And Vince Velasquez, another one of those great arms that's now in the bullpen for the club, but could be quite impactful down the stretch.
Should be. Line toward the right field corner. That ball is fair. Bouncing off the wall. And now it kicks out towards center field, giving Utley a chance to stretch it out and go for third with a stand-up triple. Second triple of the year for Utley. The ball caromed out towards center field, and Marisnick had to chase it down.
Okay, so the way that ball kicked, it almost has to hit the foul pole to kick out towards center field like that. And that foul pole would technically be above the wall. Let's see what this winds up showing here. Okay, so I don't know. That just hits the line going up the wall. Thought maybe with that. No, well, that's above the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah, that should be a double.
Yeah. So if this hits above the wall, this should be ground rule.
Yes. Bounced above that yellow line, so it should be two bases.
Saw that goofy kick. I thought something's got to be wrong here.
Ron Renicky is just joined this Dodger club as the third base coach right now. Utley's alongside him, but he won't be after they review that one.
You know, I had never honestly noticed that there is a base of that pole, some place where they had to anchor the pole, and that's exactly where it hits. But that still is above the wall, above the yellow line, and that's got to be ground rule.
Yes, that would render it out of play and two bases. So A.J. Hinch talks with the umpiring crew, and they'll take a look at this one in New York. Again, it could be a very important decision, as the one in the fourth inning was, with Rollins at second base. The out call was upheld after a Dodger challenge.
I would still love to know the need of the umpires going over to one side of the field or another, putting on headphones to initiate this review. Why isn't it just kicked in automatically in New York? But I think when somebody looks at this, they have to agree this ball hits above the yellow line.
Now, Luis Valbuena was looking right at it.
Because it hits that black area, I'm sure that makes it all the more difficult down on the field to be able to tell what happened.
Well, that's true, but as you pointed out, the way it kicked hard towards center field, it couldn't have hit the padding on the wall to kick that hard. And it is two bases, so Utley has a double, not a triple, upon review. And he's at second with one out now for Kike Hernandez.
There is justice in the world.
In fact, he's here tonight, Richard Justice.
Yeah.
So 13th double for Utley, and it's Kike Hernandez who struck out in the third, batting for the second time. Kazmir throws, and it's high, ball one to Kike. He was traded to Miami along with Jared Cozart in that deal during the season last year, and then moved along to the Dodgers. He seems to have found a very nice home.
I think he's a really valuable player. When he showed the way he could play at shortstop last year with the Astros, to me that was the clincher.
Yeah. The Astros have now been successful in 22 of their 38 challenges this year on replays. It's 3-0. That replay review took 59 seconds, by the way. Altuve alongside Utley. Kazmir looks back at the base runner, and it's foul. Green light for Kike. Well, he's hitting .298. .503 slugging percentage. Don Mattingly let him rip.
Skip has bought in.
And too, when a team hasn't been hitting a whole lot, managers tend sometimes to be a little bit more aggressive. Try to get some bats going by giving them the advantage of being able to hit. Great pitch. 3-2.
Some kind of value on that changeup.
Yes.
When he's on, that pitch is a big part of things. Arm speed, trust the grip.
Fly ball driven deep to right field. Turning the other way, Marisnik. He's back to the wall. Makes the catch at the base of the wall. Here's the tag at third, and boy, did that base make a difference. Utley, instead of scoring on a fly ball to right, moved to third on out number 2, and Marisnik really had to turn and get turned the other way to get back there.
Really good outfielder, and since he's lost his time in center field, he gives you great effort anywhere you put him.
Just almost a seamless transition right there.
Yeah, and you can see he got a little crossed up where he was initially going to go, but his footwork is so good.
You're right. Some outfielders would have been in trouble after they turned the wrong way. Yasmani Grandal struck out in the third inning. Gary Pettis was talking about that several weeks ago, and he's chatted with his outfielders and said, well, if you turn the wrong way, just immediately go the other way. No need to panic about it.
Sounds easy.
It does, doesn't it?
See a lake down the left side of the fairway? Just hit it the other way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. Big swing by Grandal makes it 1-2 for Scott Kazmir. Two and two. This crowd is into this game as well as last night's.
From either side, pitches like this can look really close. But
Grandal was lunging at a change when he struck out in the third inning. That was on a 2-2 count there. On 2-2 here again, it's Kazmir trying to work to him and figure out a way to get him this time around. Fights it off. Grandal, a switch hitter, 26 years old, first round pick by San Diego, traded to the Dodgers last December in the Matt Kemp deal. He had an 8 RBI game this year in May at Milwaukee. Close. 3-2.
Or outside? A little of both.
Off-speed pitch, and it's ball 4. Runners at first and third, 2 outs for Guerrero now.
Yeah, through the strike zone, that is probably a strikeout waiting to happen.
Guerrero, DH, grounded out earlier.
Comes with that 3-2 changeup. And that says that not only Casimir, but Jason Castro is starting to gain confidence in this pitch.
Guerrero really had a burst at the beginning of the season. He's a Cuban-born player who plays several different positions. 27 years old, had just 13 major league at-bats last year. Came out of the gate this year with 5 homers in his first 19 games. That's ball 1. One and one to Alex Guerrero. He's been quite a pinch hitter. He's tied for the major league lead with 9 pinch hit runs batted in and 3 pinch hit homers. And has done well with 2 outs and men in scoring position.
Had a healthy swing on that heater.
Yeah, he airs it out. Off the plate, it's 2-1. Casimir at the 81 pitch mark of the game. Guerrero fouls it. It's 2-2 for Casimir. A.J. Hinch with Mike Fiers going 134 pitches in his no-hitter last night. Also managed Edwin Jackson with Arizona in 2010 when Jackson threw a 149-pitch no-hitter. And I asked A.J. what happened after that. He said, I gave him 8 days off, and then he threw 75 pitches in his next start. Now a full count. That's the 4th full count in a row this inning.
Constantly working toward the outside edge on the right-hand hitters here.
So a 30-pitch frame so far for Casimir. Grandal will be taking off at first with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Casimir gets strikeout number 7 to get out of 5th inning trouble. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded. That call overturned, allowing the double. Gaddis grounded out in the 2nd inning, shortstop. Shoots one high to left center field. Kike Hernandez back a step and now in. 1 out. Frankie has settled down after the Valbuena homer. He's retired 8 in a row. And as is the case quite often with a really top-of-the-line starting pitcher, early runs are necessary if the team wants to beat them. Looks as if it's going to be tough to break through a whole lot more, but we'll find out as Valbuena bats for the 2nd time.
You know what we're seeing is legitimately playoff baseball. When you get these kinds of pitching matchups, this is the way it goes in the postseason.
Marisnick's on deck. Gonzalez. 2 outs. Julia.
Hey guys, as Jake Marisnick comes up, just coming off a really good night offensively for him, gaining a lot of confidence on a 2-for-3 night with a stolen base too. It's like the way we saw Jake play early on in the season, a rough couple of months for him really, but he's put in a lot of work, and so a night like last night, he said, really gives me confidence to come out and try to do it one more time for the team, as he's really been pressing lately.
Well, he had that homer and a double. He stole 3rd base. A big night for Jake. Made a really nice catch in the 9th inning. That's strike 1. He hit a fly ball to center in the 2nd inning. His play on Jimmy Rollins to lead off the 9th was the most difficult play behind Mike Fiers last night. 0-2. Let's see, you caught Ken Forsh's no-hitter, Ash.
1979.
Apparently not too many plays other than routine in that one.
Yeah, there might have been a play as I recall, but nothing special.
Struck him out. That's number 3. And it's a 1-2-3 fifth, 10 straight retired by Greinke. 2-0 Astros through 5.
Good deal.
Thanks, Julia. You're always invited. Jimmy Rollins whacks one to left field. Rasmus back. It's over his head. Bounces off the bullpen fence. Rollins into second base with a leadoff double here in the 6th inning. Rollins is 2 for 3. He was denied a double in the 4th inning upon review. And he has 500 doubles now, tying him with Goose Goslin and John Olerud.
Some pretty good names right there. Tony Perez, Roberto Alomar. Yeah, that of Jimmy Rollins.
Terrific career. Yasiel Puig is 0 for 2. Popped to second, and he reached on an error by Carlos Correa on a line drive that appeared to be knuckleballing, and then it hit and bounced off Correa's glove. Altuve tries to cut into Rollins' lead. He can steal third. Ball 1 to Puig with Turner on deck. Rangers are leading Detroit 4-0 there in the bottom of the 5th in the Motor City, with Giovanni Gallardo shutting them out. 2 balls, no strikes now. Angels will be playing Toronto tonight in Anaheim. Marco Estrada goes for the Blue Jays. He's 10-7 with a 3.20 ERA. Against Andrew Heaney, he's 5-1 with a 2.43. Foul back by Puig. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Dodgers certainly had an overload of outfielders, leading to the Matt Kemp trade. But their outfielders also have been dogged by injuries too the last few years. Puig has had some downtime this year. Carl Crawford has had an unfortunate run of injuries. Broken bat roller. Valbuena. 1 out as the runner moves to third base. Good pitch though by Kazmir, getting in on Puig's hands.
Yeah, this bat has taken its last swing in a major league game, but mission accomplished. There's that slide piece right on the hands.
Now the runner at third and 1 out. The Astros play the middle infielders back. For Justin Turner, he's flying to center and struck out. Kazmir got tough last inning when he had runners at first and third and 2 outs, striking out Guerrero. It's a shot into center field. 2-1 ball game as the Dodgers score their first run of the series. Turner drives it in, his 48th with the single.
This guy's a dangerous looking hitter. He gets some big swings. He's the 4-seam heater, trying to work it in. We haven't seen a lot of the work in this evening.
Will Harris is throwing for the Astros. Adrian Gonzalez is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out to third. He looks at strike 1. Van Slyke on deck. 91 pitches for Kazmir. He really labored through the 5th inning. Third time through the order. .255 batting average against Kaz. It's not dramatically different from the earlier stages of the game. Line into right field for a hit. Wisnick comes up with it. A single for Gonzalez. Third hit of the inning, and it's Van Slyke next.
You're talking about a good hitter in Adrian Gonzalez. Lefty versus lefty, and he gets a pitch right on that inside edge. It appeared to be the slider that just didn't get out where it was desired.
Brent Strom, the Astros' fine pitching coach, is at the mound. Lefty Oliver Perez now has joined Will Harris. Well, with Van Slyke, a right-handed batter, due up next, and then lefty hitting Chase Utley. The Astros are prepared with a couple of options. There was some warm-up action last night, but Mike Fiers went the distance.
Well, for Kazmir, he's one double play ground ball away from getting out of this inning quickly, and that would be desired. He doesn't create a lot of ground balls.
Van Slyke hit the ball in the air in the second with a fly ball to center, and he struck out in the fifth. He swings at that one. Not a very decisive swing effort, and it's strike one.
That's the aggressive approach as a hitter, but the changeup just takes the aggression right out of the swing.
That pitch can indeed produce some bad-looking swings. Dodgers, like the Astros, lead their league in homers. That's 0-2 now, and another swing from Van Slyke that looks less than powerful.
So you've come two straight changeups, and now you ask yourself, can we slip a third by this guy? He hasn't even come close. And that's the question you just run through your head. If you go three times and a guy gets you, you'll be chastised for saying, well, you went to the well one too many times.
Struck him out. Well, that worked quite nicely.
3 consecutive changeups. So apparently that well's pretty deep.
Yeah. He had not proved he could hit it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Has he shown he can handle the pitch? And there was no indication.
Beautifully located by Kazmir. That's 8 strikeouts for Scott. Chase Utley follows. He has a double in 2 trips. Utley looks at ball 1. Kazmir had a 10 strikeout game this year, April 8th against Texas. His career high 13 back on August 25th, 07 for Tampa Bay against Oakland. Kazmir did not have the polish then that he has now.
Frustration mounts. Shall we try? Shall we snap it? You know what? I could possibly just embarrass myself and injure myself in the process.
Utley rolls one out, and Altuve gets it to Valbuena. Tremendous job of negotiating those 2 hitters by Kazmir, getting Van Slyke and Utley to keep the damage to 5-2. Both clubs with 1 error. Houston leads it 2-1 with Jason Castro batting, and that's ball 1. Greinke has thrown first pitch strikes to 12 of 19 batters. That's in the air toward the left fielder Van Slyke, who goes over near the line. We just had a scoring change on the error that was charged to Correa Hit by Puig in the 4th inning. That's now ruled a hit.
I had a feeling that might be forthcoming.
Well, the ball was kind of a low liner, and it just looked like a knuckleball on the way out to him. Beautiful sky out there in the distance. One down, and it's Altuve. He opened the Astros first with a triple and scored on a Correa, reaching on an error on a ground ball to third, and he looks at ball 1. Greinke with the slider misses. We had a question on Twitter about Craig Biggio's original uniform number before it was changed to number 7. It was number 4. And Steve Lombardozzi came from the Minnesota Twins to the Astros. He had more time in the big leagues than Bidge and requested number 4, so Craig gave it up. 2 balls and a strike.
So if not for Lombardozzi, we'd be looking at number 4 there on Tal's Hill. Huh?
That's right. That's ripped on a line. Altuve to the seats. Home run number 10. 3-1 Astros, and 2 bombs off Greinke in this game. Altuve joins the double-digit home run club. The 9th Astro to reach double digits in homers in a season. That ties the club record.
Keep those long balls coming. Nothing wrong with that instant run on the board. Yeah, how about that? A double-digit year in long balls for Altuve. Greinke doesn't give up many. 10 on the year with the 2 hit by the Astros tonight.
Now there's strike 1 to Carlos Gomez, who's 0 for 2. Greinke had surrendered 8 home runs all season in 165 innings coming into this game. Altuve, who hit 7 last year and 7 in 2012, extends his career high every time he hits one. First time he's been in double digits as a major leaguer. We're not talking about hitting a home run off Robin Roberts here, somebody like that. Greinke very stingy. There's the club. This ties the club record, 9 of them. Buena Gaddis and all the guys on that list with at least 10. And there's room for more, and probably will be more. And Conger has 8. Out to center field by Gomez. Kike Hernandez, 2 outs. And for the Astros, who have answered the Dodgers run in the top of the inning, that's really a feel-good homer from Altuve into the Landry's Crawford boxes. Gets them back to a 2-run lead.
Well, that's an intense conversation about what took place right there.
Marwin Gonzalez ripped a game-winning homer a few days ago himself. Carlos Correa is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Strike on a curveball to him. It's 1-1. Very nice crowd on this Saturday. Many got here early to enjoy the on-field ceremonies for Craig Biggio. It's 2-1. First 10,000 got those Craig Biggio Hall of Fame t-shirts. Bouncer over Greinke. Chase Utley with the play. But the Altuve homer into the Crawford boxes gives him a triple and a home run so far. And the Astros, Harris comes out for the 7th.
This 30-year-old right-hander has had quite a season. 31 hits allowed over 54 innings. He's put together a 1.50 ERA, 5-2 on the season. Now in his 50th appearance, as Brownie says, he's allowed 5.2 hits per 9 innings this year.
Remarkable year for Will Harris. Andre Ethier is pinch hitting now for Kike Hernandez to lead it off here in the 7th. Kike was 0 for 2. Ethier takes. There is strike 1 to the left-handed hitting outfield. And Ethier, of course, gives Don Mattingly that advantage of having a left-handed hitter, and he's 5 for 15 pinch hitting with 2 runs batted in. Overall, 286, 12 homers, 39 driven in for Ethier. In the air and foul out of play for Lowry. No balls, 2 strikes. So, with Kazmir leaving, Scott in 6 innings allowed 6 hits, 1 run, walking 1 and fanning 8. And did some great work there in the 6th inning. After the Dodger run had scored, he had runners at first and second, striking out Van Slyke and getting Utley on a ground out. There's a swing and a strikeout. Ethier down. We go to Julia Morales.
Hey guys, it's time to play Name That Astro. This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We give you clues and then you take your best guess. He was named the best high school football player in his county. This Astro was featured in a book with his college teammates, and he began his career on the same minor league team that Crash Davis from Bull Durham, great movie, ended his career with. This is a good one.
Well, well, we goofed.
Oh, what happened?
We put his picture up. I think they can get it, Julia.
No.
I'm not sure many people know that face.
Oh, all that preparation. There's strike 1 to Grandal. He is 0 for 1 in a walk. And there was no silhouette. There was the actual photo. Well, we wanted everybody to get one today. It's one of those days. Everybody wins. No balls, 2 strikes.
20,000 people out there thinking, I knew who it was before you put it up there.
Actually, it seemed like a pretty tough question, the way it was worded. Swing and a miss by Grandal. It's blocked out in front. Castro throws him out. 2 strikeouts for Will Harris.
Whatever that pitch was, it induced a very weak swing from Grandal.
Now Carl Crawford's going to pinch hit for Guerrero.
Watch this swing. Chicks dig the long ball, but come on.
He missed that ball by roughly 2 feet.
That is extremely kind of you.
Carl Crawford is the pinch hitter, the Houston native at 275. Slowly hit Altuve with the good play. Makes it a 1-2-3-7 for Will Harris and a 3-1 Houston lead. It's a different outfield alignment now for Don Mattingly. We'll get you those changes as Jed Lowry bats. There's ball 1. Andre Ethier, after pinch hitting, has gone into play left field with Scott Van Slyke moving to center. Is Ethier in left. Greinke gets a strike call, and it's 1-1. Lowry has flied to center and grounded out, and there's Van Slyke now in center. Pat Neshek warming up for Houston. High to right field. Puig is backing. Puig's getting out of room here, and right there at the fence. 1-0.
Very close to the Astros having a rare night for any team against this very good right-hander Zach Greinke. 3 home runs on a night against him would be special.
Last time he gave up 2 in a game was August 21st last year against the Mets. More than a year ago. And now it's Rasmus who struck out twice. Gaddis on deck. Strike to Rasmus. Greinke has not lost in his last 11 starts. 39,999. The paid attendance, close to a sellout. Capacity is about 40,500 here.
Come on.
People like to stand and watch.
Let's get somebody in here right now. Come on in at this point. Make it 40 grand.
Must be a pretty popular ticket tonight. It's 2 balls and a strike. And this is on a night when the Texans are playing an exhibition game across the city.
DVR, baby.
Strike 3 call for Greinke. Strikeout number 4.
Yeah, this is just a little curvature with the fastball. Maybe a seam catches that down and away portion of the strike zone. Maybe. Like this.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty good.
Right there. Good looking swing. Gaddis is grounded out and fly to center. That's ball 1 to him. That's quality. Greinke had 6 consecutive scoreless starts this year. One ball, 1 strike from June 18th through July 26th.
Nobody hits that changeup against Greinke. Filthy.
It's a terrific pitch. He had a good location on it. He's the major league ERA leader. And on the road, he's 6-1 with a 1.79 ERA. Two balls, 1 strike. The Astros have really run up against some frontline talent pitching lately.
Start beating those guys, though. It's got to, if you do get to the postseason, it's got to enhance your feeling that you can beat those guys.
True. 2-2. Chris Archer was phenomenal in that Tampa Bay 1-0 win. His 1-hitter Thursday night. Gaddis fouls it. And the other thing about that, Ash, on your point, is really right on with playoff-type baseball, with the Greinkes, the Kershaws of the world, and all the other top talents around baseball. It's very difficult for the hitters to come through, but also the games tend to be lower scoring game, and the Astros are doing better in games of that nature. Their record's improving. Gaddis strikes out. That's number 5 for Greinke. And after 7, it's 3-1 Houston.
Mo Vaughn and John Valentine, and then he debuted, of course, The Tourist. There's your clues and a little explanation. Went flawlessly tonight, though, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah, well, you know, every now and then it does happen. There's a foul ball. Pat Neshek in the game, facing Jimmy Rollins, who's 2 for 3. Neshek ahead in the count, 0-1 after Will Harris had a 1-2-3 seventh with 2 strikeouts. 3-1 game as Neshek works to the top of the order. He had a scoreless inning Wednesday night against Tampa Bay, giving up a hit. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. The Astros have gotten their bullpen back in realignment. J.P. Howell working now for the Dodgers because Mike Fiers went the distance last night. They did have a couple of relievers warming up, but Thursday night it was Colin McHugh going 7. Wednesday night Dallas Keuchel went 7. Unfortunately, those 2 games, well, one of them went extra innings. Fly ball to left. Rasmus back. So the bullpen has had a lot of appearances.
Time now for our AT&T call to the bullpen as Pat Neshek comes on. 34 years of age, and he's been a big part of what the Astros have done with that pen. That whip will tell you a lot. .88. Right-hand hitters having a miserable time. He's only allowed 1 out of 20 inherited runners to score this year, so previous pitchers certainly appreciate that stat.
Well, he just got the switch hitter batting left. Rollins. Now here's Puig. Puig is now 1 for 3. Scoring decision was changed to give him a hit back in the 4th inning. He fouls it for strike 1. Astros relievers continued to be near the top of the league in ERA. They're second at 2.67.
Who decided that giving the photo with those clues on the name that Astro tonight would make things more intriguing?
Jeff Blum actually put in that request.
Yeah, okay. Well, it worked well.
1 ball and 1 strike. Will be reunited with Blummer Monday in New York for the Astros and the Yankees. That'll be Scott Feldman and Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi's 13-2, like Greinke. Foul back, and it's 1-2. The Nationals are shutting out the Brewers 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning in Washington. Nationals really trying to get revved up, and they just have not been able to get things moving for quite a while there. They're 5 behind the Mets.
They're a game under 500. That's insane.
How does that happen, Ash?
I'm not sure. And you've got Bryce Harper tearing it up.
Yep. Still 1-2. Well, that team has not been in sync, obviously, for some time now. Settling in now for a nice homestand, and Matt Williams is hoping this is the time his club makes a move. Meanwhile, Terry Collins and the Mets will be skipping a turn in the rotation with some of their different starters to give them rest because of the innings they've piled up compared to what they've done in the past. 2-2. Joe Ross started that game for Washington, went 7 innings, gave up 1 run. Twins lead the Orioles 3-2. They're in the top of the 8th in Baltimore. Puig strikes out. 2 down.
Treat your employees, host clients, or bring out your church or youth sports team and create an experience to remember with Astros Group tickets. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/groups to enjoy specially priced special pricing and great benefits by reserving your group today.
That's 11 strikeouts for Astros pitchers tonight. With 2 outs, it's Turner batting. He has the Dodgers RBI. A single to center field in the 6th inning. Gets a slider from Neshek for strike 1. Turner 1 for 3 in this game. The Astros are 5-3 on this 10-game homestand. One and 1. Their home record is 43-21. Second best home winning percentage in the American League to Kansas City. They've won 19 of their last 24 at Minute Maid Park. Oliver Perez warming up again for Houston. It's 2-1. Astros, of course, have had a difficult time on the road this year. They're 24-35. The Dodgers are similar on the road, 25-34. And yet both these clubs have played well enough at home to be in first place. Fly ball out to left for Rasmus. That is 8 straight retired by Astros pitchers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1 Houston.
Just a couple of home runs, so he keeps the ball in the ballpark, but he's had his issues with the walks this year, about 4 per 9 innings. Time now for the Mako big hit of the game. Might be a long ball. It is a long ball. Luis Valbuena adds to his totals. Number 22 on the year, and adds to the Astros lead 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
And we get a pinch hitter with a lefty reliever Howe coming in for Greinke. Instead of Valbuena, Marwin Gonzalez is pinch hitting for the man who hit that second inning homer. So Marwin, the switch hitter, batting right this season, is a .302 hitter. Showing bunt, and he takes strike one. Zach Greinke in 7 innings allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. The Astros, for their 3 hits, have a triple and 2 homers. Marwin has 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Jim Johnson warming up for the Dodgers now, a right-hander. So Marwin could be one of those guys in the double-digit home run club. The Astros have 9 players who have hit at least 10 homers. Marwin and Hank Conger, each with 8, have a chance to give them 11.
You know, this move right here, having Marwin pinch hit in the bottom of the 8th inning, tells me what I believe might say that Marwin is deemed maybe right now to be the best defensive first baseman on the club.
Yeah, I think you're right. Bunted foul won it too, at least from what we've seen.
Generally speaking, with a lead this late in the ballgame, you don't go to offense if you're weakening your defense.
Exactly. Yeah, with a 3-1 lead, a lot of managers, if Valbuena were considered to be the superior first baseman, would stay with him lefty on lefty. But he's moved from third base to first during this season. So really unfair to expect him to be on the top of his game at that position when he has not played very much there before. 2-2, and typically managers do this. They go for offense early, and then they'll make the substitution to try to protect that lead if they get it. They worked tonight. Valbuena delivering the homer in the second. And now hoping that Marwin can reach for him as a pinch hitter. The count 2-2. Marwin had that walk-off homer in the 9th inning Tuesday night, and he was 3 for 4 in that game against Tampa Bay. It has been a total team effort for the Astros this year. Marwin's been a big part of that. In Marwin's last 50 games, he has a .380 on base average, .536 slugging percentage, and his batting average is .320. Struck him out. Julia.
Thanks, Browning. Be social with Root Sports, and we will thank one lucky fan by giving them a better view of the game with a new 40-inch HD television. Just follow us on Twitter at Root Sports SW now through August 30th and look for your chance to win. Visit rootsports.com for official rules.
We want to get in on that. That would be good viewing for the playoffs. Jake Marisnick is 0 for 2, a fly ball and a strikeout. Jason Castro's on deck in the Astros 8th inning. Luke Gregerson warming up for Houston. Howell delivers ball 1. Howell pitched at the University of Texas as well as Southern Cal. He had 68 appearances last year for the Dodgers with 27 holds. Kansas City drafted him in 04, traded him to Tampa Bay in 06. The Dodgers picked him up prior to last season as a free agent. Marisnick goes to a 1-1 count. Dodger bullpen has been unpredictable this year, with an ERA of 4.18. Two balls and 1 strike. They've had a makeover during the season. They've attempted to repair the problems in the bullpen by making a deal with Atlanta. They got Jim Johnson, who's warming up now, and Luis Avilan. in that deal. They've also moved Matt Latos to the bullpen now from the starting rotation. They obtained him in another trade. Ground ball wide of third. Turner, 2 outs.
Come get a behind-the-scenes look at Minute Maid Park. Learn all about the ballpark by visiting areas like the historic Union Station, luxury suites, the Diamond Club, and much more. For more information, visit Astros.com/tours or call 713-259-8996 to schedule your tour today.
Good time there. Now it's Castro batting. He is 0 for 2. Altuve on deck. In tight for a ball. The Astros have been out hit 6-3. All 3 Houston hits, extra bases, 2 homers and a triple. Dodgers have 2 extra base hits, a couple of doubles. Dodgers have stranded 5. The Astros have been very efficient. They have not left a man on base. What would you say in Major League Baseball is the percentage of the team with more hits winning the game?
I'll bet it's high. I'll bet it's 75% or more.
Yeah, so this goes against the grain of a lot of Major League games.
But when you're the team that leads the bigs and home runs, you might kind of kick around that stat.
The Astros record when they score 3 runs or less is 13-47. Rolled out to first. Gonzalez will get there ahead of Castro to send this game to the 9th inning. Gonzalez, Vince Like, Utley due up. The Astros lead it 3-1. Gonzalez stays into play first base after pinch hitting for Valbuena. And it's Luke Gregerson in to pitch. Jock Peterson will be coming up next as the pinch hitter, as Gregerson is 6-2, 23 for 28 in saves.
Check out those last 5 games, 6 innings with no hits allowed in that span.
Don Mattingly pulling out the left-handed power hitters, and Gonzalez singled to right in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 in this game. He's hit 24 bombs. Peterson on deck to do the pinch hitting has hit 23. Those are the Dodgers home run leaders. And they'll face Gregerson back to back. Fouled away. There's strike 1. It was a spotless 8th inning for Pat Neshek, and he had a strikeout of Puig for his 27th hold of the year. Will Harris had a 1-2-3 7th with 2 punch-outs. The bullpen has been perfect through 2 innings. Scott Kazmir, the starter, in line for win number 7. On through the shift and into right field. Gonzalez gets it going for the Dodgers with a single, just as we promised earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
And it's about Scott Kazmir. A solid outing, and I felt like he got things back together with that fastball changeup combination. You know, when he has those going, he's going to win a lot of ball games. Blew the heat by and had that change, leaving guys off balance. Yeah, that last outing against Tampa, not a good one, and stats would tell you immediately he had a rough time. But again, visually it looked like things really turned around for Kaz tonight.
Jock Peterson now is the pinch hitter for Vance Like, representing the tying run in this game. And he fouls at strike 1. We mentioned Peterson has hit the ball out of the park 23 times with 47 runs batted in. His batting average is .215. He's 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. 23 years old from Palo Alto, California. He had a little big league time last season, but was in the 30-30 club at AAA Albuquerque. 33 homers, 30 steals last season. He rolls over on that one and fouls it. The count's 0-2. Big crowd of 39,999. Watch the Astros score single runs in the first and second, then tack on an Altuve homer in the sixth. The Dodgers had gotten a run in the top of the sixth on a Turner hit. Dodgers now lead in hits 7-3 over the Astros in this game. Peterson is first among rookies with those 23 homers. He's been on base in 14 of his last 16 games. Last night he was 0 for 2 with a walk. Fouls it. With Chase Utley on deck. Don Mattingly has 3 left-handed hitters at least lined up for the 9th inning, and then Ethier would be in line to bat if all 3 of those are not retired. The first one hasn't been, but there could be a double play. Mattingly's club 0-3 on this road trip. With the Giants breathing down their necks, just a game and a half out. Foul ball keeps Peterson alive at 0-2. The big 4-game series coming up at San Francisco with the Dodgers in town starts at the end of this month. Chris Hatcher is working in the Dodger bullpen, a right-hander. Out to center field, Gomez with the catch. That's one big out. Utley will follow.
And that ball was hit pretty well, too.
Utley doubled in the 5th inning and was stranded at third base. Initially, he went to third, and then upon review, it was decided that the ball bounced over the right field wall and made contact with the foul pole above the wall. So at that point, it became a double. And had it been a triple, and had Hernandez hit the fly ball that he wound up hitting, it would have been a sac fly, but instead they did not score a run in that game. And then inning, Correa to second and safe at first. Very close to a game-ending double play. Had to take about 4 or 5 steps to get to second for the force.
Well, the setup, it looked for a moment like it might be the game ender, and you could see on the mound there that effort initially to maybe go after the ball, eventually letting it go to get maybe the only shot at a double play. Now you got to get another bat. Stay tuned after the game as Kevin Eschenfelder and Art Howe break down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show. That's presented by Houston Methodist.
Andre Ethier is the batter. Utley the runner. 2 outs in the 9th. The Astros up by 2. Ethier as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning struck out against Will Harris. Gregerson deals ball 1. The last save for Luke came at San Francisco 10 days ago on August 12th. He got a win here in the Tampa Bay series Tuesday night with 2 hitless innings. A strike call there, evens the count at 1-1. Once again, a large and energized crowd has come to Minute Maid Park and is standing at the end of the game, just as was the case last night on the no-hitter by Mike Fiers. It's 1-2. Texas Rangers are winning 5-0 in the top of the ninth at Detroit. The Angels have not yet started at home against Toronto. Fly ball outside the line and left. Rasmus is out of room.
Pankel's corner. Those guys are hanging out there a little too long, I think.
And Gregerson's career against the Dodgers is 2-5 with a 2.51 ERA. Swing and a miss. Gregerson finishes the win for Kazmir. Kazmir's first win here at Minute Maid Park as an Astro. The bullpen was spectacular for the Astros, who got homers from Valbuena and Altuve. Altuve also had a triple, and the Astros won with 3 hits tonight. Dodgers out hit them 7-3, but Houston takes it 3-1.